If you failed drop shipping, then you should try email marketing. And in this video, I'm going to give you 5 very quick and simple reasons that will help convince you to do so. All right, so a lot of the guys that I speak to that want to enroll in the Ecom Email Accelerator are coming from drop shipping backgrounds. And recently I've had calls with some of our enrollees who have had relatively successful drop shipping businesses, but they've ultimately, I guess what you can categorize it as, they failed. Okay, so they've had a drop shipping brand, they've created that brand, they've built relationships with suppliers, they've shipped a load of product, they've either lost a load of money, the margins were terrible, and they've just run out of cash, whatever it might be, and they've basically got to the position now where they just can't operate as a drop shipper. Okay, and the reason I want to make this video is because I want you to realize this if you're watching this as a drop shipper or somebody who has previously done drop shipping or you're interested in it, to potentially set your sights on a business model that is a hell of a lot easier to run, where you'll make a hell of a lot more money and your margins are wildly more than they are in the drop shipping space. Okay, so without further ado, I'm just going to minimize my face here. We're going to jump into the reasoning first. Okay, so first things first, the experience that you've gained as a drop shipper, okay? Even if you've failed, even if you've lost a ton of money, like I say, quite a few of the guys that have enrolled in the Ecom Email Accelerator have come from a failed drop shipping background where they've been able to actually apply all of their skills, knowledge and experience to email marketing. And now they're running an email marketing agency that's incredibly successful based on that experience, okay? So this video is going to give you the opportunity to collect all of that past struggle that you've gone through, all of that experience and that knowledge that you've built, and not let it go to waste, all right? So when it comes to experience, you will have right now a load of transferable skills, okay? And what that means is that you are well versed with basically operating within the e-commerce space. Now that's important because when you go out into the marketplace with an email marketing offer, you're going to have to pitch that to your clients and you're going to have to speak their language, okay? So if you haven't been in the e-com world or in the e-com space, it's going to be very difficult for you to do that. But because you've been a drop shipper, you've got a load of transferable skills that, okay, maybe you don't know how to, migrate a Klaviyo account or do something ultra specific within, any given ESP, but you do have a body of skills now that if you just pivot slightly, you can then apply them to this model and unlock basically a whole world of new success for yourself, all right? The second point here is that you have probably got a large body of built infrastructure already under your belt. So when you set up your dropshipping company, probably already set up email flows, abandoned cart flows, browse abandonment, welcome series. You were already doing things to build your list. All of the stuff that you were doing hands-on with your e-commerce company, you will already have under your belt. And this is going to be incredibly important going out into the marketplace with an ecom email offer, because you can then actually repackage that built infrastructure, sell it to potential new clients, e-commerce brand owners, and then actually deliver for them an upfront build where you get paid cash collected before you actually lift a finger to do service delivery. All right, so this will include things like your design, CTAs. You will basically understand all of the best practices when it comes to conversion tactics and email marketing. All right, so design and then also your flows and your automations. Okay, so you understand the tactics, and that's where a lot of your transferable skills basically will be able to apply to this model. Okay. So the second point here that's going to help you as a dropshipper is basically your understanding. So your understanding right now from your experience in the e-commerce space is going to be very deep and it's going to be very niche. Okay, now you might not have a specific niche. Maybe you had a menswear or a gadget or a toy dropshipping brand, but you actually want to go out and work with purpose-led brands, or women's wear or cosmetics, whatever it might be. The bottom line is that you have operated within the wider vertical of e-commerce. Okay, so if you put on a B2B, marketing hat right now, and you had an agency where you did lead gen or something like that, and you were going out into the marketplace, you would have to niche down in order to actually get some sort of engagement from your clients. But the fact that you've already built experience in the e-com space is going to enable you to create an offer that is somewhat zoomed out, somewhat wider at the top end of the funnel when it comes to the niche that you are really pinning yourself to. Okay, so you can go out into the marketplace saying, look, we specialize in working with e-commerce brands and we recover abandoned carts, revenue, whatever it might be. That's going to be a wide enough, that's going to be a wide enough vertical for you to see where you get traction in the marketplace, but it's also going to be a narrow enough niche so that when you go out to your prospects, they're going to have the specificity and they're going to have the understanding that you actually, have a technical expertise in their area, in the e-com space, all right? So you might not feel like it, but your understanding right now is deep and niche. And what that's going to do is really help you understand all of those, key elements of running a e-commerce brand and what e-commerce brands actually struggle with. So low conversion rates, high cart abandonments, poor customer retention, ways to increase lifetime value of customers, declining profit margins, and how email offers and list building strategies like we're going to give you 50% off just further erode e-com brand owners' profit margins and why they don't like that. And that's what really ties in here to offers and promos, okay? So what this comes down to is your understanding is practical and it's not theoretical. And all of this revolves around your ability to sell to your prospective clients and to basically get you to a position where you have the level of confidence and conviction you need to actually speak the language that's relevant to the clients, okay? So if you say to them, look, I've had an e-com brand, okay? Maybe it was a drop shipping brand, maybe you didn't manufacture anything, but lots of e-commerce brands don't manufacture their own products, okay? So don't use any of these, things to be limiting. They really are limiting, self-limiting beliefs. Don't let those reduce, your perspective of the experience that you've had to date. And just remember that when you speak to your clients, all of your knowledge about the space is actually based on real practice, being in the trenches, being in the arena, as opposed to, having the best theoretical knowledge base of how Klaviyo works or anything like that. All right. Now, the third point here that's going to help you pivot to this model is understanding around inventory. Okay, so when you run an email marketing agency, you're going to say goodbye to physical inventory. You're not going to have any physical or any dependency on physical products, which is incredibly liberating when you run an agency that is related to the e-commerce space. You're not taking on any of the risk that e-commerce brands and everybody else in the e-commerce space, suppliers, stock managers, warehouses, whatever, take on that relate to physical products. Okay, so you can kind of dip into the industry, take what you like out of it and not be subject to all of the pain points that everybody else is subjected to and that you would have been subjected to running a drop shipping brand. Okay, so again, no stock management, you're going to have to say goodbye to that. You're not going to have to worry about that. No supply management, not going to have to worry about managing all of your suppliers. And again, with an e-com brand, you work with an e-com email marketing agency, you work with a very limited pool of assets, okay? So you can go to market with your tools of the trade. A carpenter, they're going to have their lathes and their routers and they're going to have their saws and, whatever it might be. You as an email marketing agency owner, you have your ESP, which is your primary tool to deliver your service. And then really what you have is relationships. So whether that's relationships with your employees, relationships with your e-com clients, okay, on prospective clients, that's all you're operating with, okay? So again, a much more streamlined business model here, much better than drop shipping. Now the fourth point here, really regards your network, okay? So having been in the dropshipping space, chances are you were members of groups, okay? So you might have been already in Facebook groups, you might have been in LinkedIn groups, and all of these group memberships that you had all came from your own need to grow your own brand, okay? So being in the trenches, doing the marketing for your own company, as opposed to, being an agency or a freelancer that's only worked for other companies. You're proving at every step here that you've got skin in the game, okay? And you understand the real pain points of these e-commerce brand owners as peers, as opposed to, these elusive brand owners that you one day would hopefully like to work with, if they grant you the privilege, all right? So you will also have a network of suppliers and of contractors that you could hire from, agencies maybe that you worked with or you had conversations with, and other brand owners too, okay? So chances are you're actually speaking to a load of other brands. And again, guys, these are all, let's move this one over here, agencies. These are all kind of floating islands. These are floating pools of clients that you could potentially tap into, okay? So as an email marketer, if you're just starting out, the first step for you, it's not really one I recommend because you can make a lot more money if you just go out on your own and you pitch and sell upfront infrastructure builds, but you could go and work with agencies. You could make money, monetize your services very quickly working with agencies. You can hire contractors, or you could work potentially if you've had contractors in the past and they've got their own clients, they could refer new clients to you. Okay, you could go out to your suppliers, brands that not only sell direct to consumer, but sell direct to trade and B2B as well. And then again, other e-commerce brands that you can reach out to, perhaps you built relationships with, again, as a peer, okay? Now, the fifth and final point here is revenue. All right. So email marketing services, in a world where we are all battling for attention and where AI is the next new biggest thing, we in the ecom email space are operating in an arena with extremely high demand. Okay. Every single brand, email and SMS retention marketing contributes, more to their bottom line than almost any other attributable marketing channel, okay, outside of ads. So there's incredibly high demand and it's an industry that's growing, all right? It's not going anywhere. Now, what that basically means for you is that you have an opportunity to find brands that continually lack the skill and they lack the ability, the kind of cost management or expense to actually go out and find technical experts, okay? So if brands want to hire an in-house person to manage email only from a technical expertise standpoint, it's going to be too expensive for them to do so. They're going to spend 4 to 6K all in, for a technical expert for one person, whereas they could work with you as an agency where they get access to multiple graphic designers, multiple technical experts, people that are driving their strategy, and they're actually accountable to their work, okay? Now, the other, juicy thing about this, this revenue model is that you will be able to collect cash up front. Okay, so if you go back to the other videos in my channel, go back over recent videos over the past few weeks, I show you exactly how to collect cash up front before lifting a finger to do service delivery. And then on the back end, how you can actually charge retainers and get paid incredibly life-changing, transformational, performance-based commissions. Okay, so you're not going to have to worry about, net 30 terms, doing a load of work, and then clients, deciding or not to pay you after 30 days. You're really going to have a recurring cash flow business here, okay? So you're not going to have to worry about, projected cash flow and the risk of, making one sale and then not having a consistent flow of cash every single month, bit like you are with physical products in the e-com space, okay? So here we go, guys. If you've tried drop shipping and you don't do it anymore, don't consider it a failure. Hopefully this video has opened your eyes to all of the attributes you actually have under your belt right now, and will hopefully give you the push that you need to actually go and give email marketing a try. And like I say, if you've got any other questions, drop them in the comments below. If you got value from this video, please consider subscribing. I'll drop a link where you can book a call with me if you would like to. There's no pressure at all in the description box below. And other than that, I will see you in the next one. All right, cheers.